We succeed only if we capitalize on their error and exploit their mistakes. Working in a phone bank, calling potential voters in order to identify hot buttons, registering them, door-to-door contact, holding a backyard fundraiser for a coffee hour for a good guy candidate pays great dividends. Learn how the game is played, then excel at it. So it isn't just a phone bank saying, "Hi, I'm Sam Paredes. I'm a resident of the 10th Assembly District. I'm calling to encourage you to vote for Jack Seaglock. Thank you." As opposed to, "Hi, we're conducting a survey, and if you've got just a few minutes, just have a couple of questions to ask you. How do you feel about the Arizona immigration law? Okay, thank you. How do you feel about the court overturning Prop 8, the marriage initiative? Thank you. If you were to vote today, would you vote for candidate A or candidate B? Thank you. If you knew that candidate A was supportive of these issues, how would you vote? Thank you. You have a great evening. Goodbye. You have now identified potential flame-throwing, hot-button pushed people that you can get out to vote. Now, if they say, I'm not that interested, sorry, I don't do surveys, or I don't have time, or call back later, or something like that, the reality is they're probably not going to vote anyway. So don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get your feelings hurt. They don't want to be educated. So we have to learn how to make this thing work. Now we've identified people that we can actually go out on election day and say, hey, have you voted? Because at the polling booth, they have a list of everybody who's voted. And you check your sheet about those people who support the Arizona law and say, okay, we need to get these people out. Then you go to the polling booth and you cross off the people that have already voted, and then you go get the rest. Thank you very much. That's what we just talked about. Scripture speaks quite clearly about how God created each of us with different talents, different interests, each individually unique, all held accountable for the talents we're given, all capable of differentiating between right and wrong. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've heard the sermon. God created a body. Some people are the brains. Some people are the eyes. Thankfully, a lot of people are the feet and the hands. Some people are the heart. Some people are the gallbladder, whatever that does, or the appendix, and they're kind of there for the ride. But they're a part of the body. Some people are you pick the goofy, ugly, unique body part. We're all part of the body. We all work together. We're all given a different talent, and we're all held accountable for that. For us to think that everybody is a foot or everybody is a brain is counter to the way God created humanity. So let's understand that. It'll make life a lot less frustrating. Okay, what we need to do is identify those people that are the parts of the bodies that can actually be used to accomplish the goal we need to accomplish. Nowhere does Scripture mention class consciousness or multiple forms of contrary logic. We were talking about that earlier. There is but one logic, one morality, God's. Let's take advantage of how the Almighty has made us and appeal to the less politically motivated around the issues that set their minds afire. We're just following the Word. It's already there. This requires us to search for the pot buttons, not argue at the drop of the hat, and chase away those who don't have an interest in all the facets of politics. Patience is a blessing, and as long as we strive and persevere, believe it or not, time is on our side. And like I said earlier, if we get somebody on one of our issues, on tax issues or guns or something, the more they hang around us, the more we're going to rub off on them. The more they will develop a relationship with us and say, you know what, the way they think about guns or they think about taxes or abortion or homeschooling or any of these others, you know, they're right. I'm going to change my mind about that. I believe like these people believe. That's a good thing. The old expression, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, is true. But stand around the trough long enough and sooner or later, he'll take a sip.
Throw salt in his O's.
We traditional Americans who grasp the abstracts of confrontational politics must assume leadership and see ourselves as the vanguard in restructuring and reconstituting a constitutional America as envisioned by our forefathers. And you are the tip of that spear. Okay? Leadership emerges from the ones who properly understand the nature of the struggle, grasp the political abstracts, and acts upon the knowledge. The solution is always found in understanding the problem and then acting organizationally with others. Knowledge is power, that if translated, that is, if it is translated into behavior. So knowing what is right and doing what is right is power. And that's what you've been doing. Told you I was going to try to encourage you. Okay, I'm going to zip through this one. Perseverance and professionalism. In every confrontation, the left has little to lose. Okay? Since their opposition rarely attacks or takes advantage of organizational opportunities. We rarely, really, honestly, over history have we really fought back hard. Most traditionalists are content with protecting the status quo, compromising and going back to sleep. Hasn't that been the pre-Tea Party description of conservatives in America? Very close, huh? Again, not telling you anything you don't know, it's putting it all together. Understanding how it all works. The reason is that every new leftist agenda is intended to create an area of influence, developing a new core of followers with a vested interest in maintaining the new program. Conversely, their traditionalist opposition, us, rarely thinks in long-range goals or of developing residuals from any engagement. We talked about that. Up until recently, building a constituency for a protracted fight wasn't even considered by conservatives who spend their time defending the status quo. Residuals? What does that mean? You know, what's that? What? The left builds and trains professionals in the art of confrontational politics, each conflict viewed as having long-range benefits. Due to the ignorance and poor methodology of their opposition, us, the left has, so far, little downside risk. Let me continue. The left recruits, trains, and employs their workers. Then they systematically place them in foundations, governmental agencies, union leadership, and staffs of leftist organizations and legislators. You know, every election I take a survey of the members who are elected to the legislature, and the vast majority of them have all come from staff. They're lawyers who've never practiced law, but they've been a staff member to another legislator. They build them from within. On the other side, the conservative opposition occasionally puts forth a valiant effort, hoping volunteerism will suffice. Come on, in the Tea Party and the gun movement and stuff, you know, we're going to do it all on volunteers. We're going to be the grassroots. We're going to do it better than anybody has ever done in the history of man. Whew, man, that's a tall order to put on ourselves. But often losing because they usually show up too late with too little. By the time they get organized, the fight is usually over and they disband. That's us. Before the good guys can continuously win, we too must professionalize and take advantage of the messes the leftist programs create. This professionalization in no way minimizes the need for volunteer hard work. And this is the point that I want to get across on this subject. The left, everybody who's a part of the left has a job. It is their job to be a part of the left. They train them, they pay them, they give them responsibility, and then they evaluate them.